guys, welcome back to No For Real podcast. This is Yasmin.
And this is Thoraya. Welcome back.
How are you?
I'm really good, but I've been a sleepy all day. Like literally, I was trying to do some work on the computer, and I'm like sleeping.
Falling asleep.
Yeah, and then I kept looking at the bed, and I was like, I just want to jump and then look at the computer and do like sleep and work at the same time. But then I was like, wait, it's impossible to read. It's impossible to remove my mouse. Like I was trying to find ways to be in bed and still do what I need to do, but I couldn't. And I feel like now I'm a little bit more awake than 4 or 5 hours ago. But yeah, it's coffee. Coffee is not in my system. I did not drink coffee at all yesterday, and still no coffee.
Oh, girl, I thought it was just today. That explains it.
I don't
Nothing
drink
yesterday.
No, when I fast, I cut coffee completely. Like it's not like I drink it at night and stuff. No, it's done. If it's not in the morning and I'm fasting, then there's no coffee after I break my fast. No way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I take a little bit coffee. I drink a little bit coffee 30 minutes before I sleep. And you know what, that thing where you drink coffee and you go into a siesta?
Yeah.
You wake up even more, like you have more energy.
Oh, wow.
But I'm sleeping at night.
Yeah.
And when I sleep, nothing wakes me up. Caffeine doesn't kick in.
Yeah.
If I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping.
I'm that type of person too, but it's just like I don't want to go through headaches, and withdrawals. So I just cut it off and live life normally, but the sleepiness is not leaving me alone. Even though I wake up okay, but then I think the sleepiness kicks in 30 minutes after I wake up, because this is when I usually drink my coffee. It's like 30 minutes or an hour after I wake up. But it's been happening where I don't drink coffee, so I'm just like sleepy, So funny. And I literally fall asleep, and then I was hearing somebody talking, and I was like, oh shit, I'm asleep. It was so funny.
Well,
how about you? How's your life?
it's good. I think moving to a little bit away from the city is not a bad idea, because we live right next to Qamariya. And I'm just like going.
There's
and
another
coming
location
back.
close to you.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Going and coming back. It's like a chore I have to do every day.
That's hilarious.
And it's the same thing. Pistachio latte, little ice, almond milk.
I like that you're obsessed with that.
You just have
still.
to know if you don't
And it's
know.
good. Like I tasted it. It's really good. It's
good.
easy to get hooked on that.
Yes, I love it. And it's my sweet treat after the fasting, other than eat a whole cake.
True.
I would drink that coffee. And it really, I do it like 1 a.m. or something, because they open till 1.
That's nice.
So I go like 12:30, something like that, drink it, and then 1 a.m. I'm asleep.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm trying to sleep at like 2-ish. So I just stuff my face with food before I go to bed.
Make it up.
Yep. Even though like fasting starts at 6:30 now, right? 6:30 something.
Yes, 6:34.
Yeah.
Morning
So I can still wake up at 6 and eat something, but it's just like, it's fine.
It was nice, though, the change of time, because I was driving to work, because I leave home at 6 a.m. And now I can take a little snack with me and a drink. Like I drank 2 bottles of water while driving.
That's helpful.
Which it was nice. Before it was 5:40 something, 5:45, something like that, which it's fine.
I didn't really feel the time
Yeah.
change. I usually feel it. Like I feel an impact, but this time it's like, okay, time change. It's fine.
It was just one day that I felt, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was weird, because also I was watching a TV show, and it was 1 a.m. And then I look at the hour, and it was 3 a.m. And I was like, what happened? I was like, there ain't no way. This series is like 1 hour. There's no way. And my sister was like, yeah, the time changed. And I was like, okay.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Well, we have a topic for today, and we want to talk about therapy and the rise of therapy in today's culture.
Yeah.
I am for it. Don't get me wrong. I am for therapy for people that need it, but I am not okay with anything being advertised that is related to mental health or physical health. Like America is one of the few countries where you see advertisements on TV for medications, and I treat medications same way as I treat therapy. therapy, it should not be advertised as much as we advertise it here. Like, it's such a casual advertisement, just like medications. They advertise medications just like they're advertising shoes and food on TV. So for me, it's like, I'm against the advertisement and pushing it in people's faces, but I'm for therapy for people that really need it. So that's how I feel about it in today's era, you know?
I think a lot of people need it, but I agree with Saraya in the sense that we treat it as a product,
Yeah.
not as a tool to help us through the day. Because therapists, a lot of the time, and not all of them, but most of them, they try to get you into going into a psychiatrist and getting prescriptions and getting all of that. And that's all a system. It's not their fault. They're programmed into doing that, even though sometimes you don't need to be on medications just to, make the extra dollars out of you. But I think therapy is very important to a lot of people, and I think everybody should go to therapy. Everybody got stuff on their own life that they can vent to somebody else to let it out so they don't project it on their own family or loved ones. But I think the diagnosis and people actually coming out of therapy thinking that they become the therapist and they start diagnosing other people, I think that is very, very dangerous, because people start thinking that if they have traumas, now everybody gotta have a trauma, or if somebody else tries to react in a specific way in a specific situation, they're like, oh, it's because of your trauma you're doing this. Oh, because no, some people are simply just not nice, and they're lashing out on people because that's their personality. They didn't work on themselves to be better, not because they got trauma, not because of anything. So I feel like we're making too much excuses for people with the mental health issues that are coming out in those days. And everybody and their mama got ADHD, everybody and their mama got OCD, everybody and their mama got all of these things without knowing what it means, actually.
I feel like, yes, these things that we're seeing, that we can all sit down and be like, yes, I have the same thing, especially with the ADHD. It's because of the lifestyle that we're living. Most of us are living with our phones in our hands, a screen that keeps changing topics every 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Of course, is gonna program your head to change topics and jump from a topic to topic, because that's the norm for you. And it's been happening for a lot of people because a lot of people are using the phone in the same way. So ADHD is there, but it's not like it is a diagnosis. Like, you can diagnose people with it, but it's also not a big deal. It's a lifestyle. You can change some things in your lifestyle, in the way that you are spending your time, to better fix it. You don't need all these medications that they sell you.
Exactly.
In some cases where you might have chemical imbalances in your brain, then go ahead and take medications. But when it comes to things that are really not related to chemical imbalances, I really don't support medications. I'm the type of person that I would handle pain, and instead of taking pain medications, I would rather live the pain a little bit and go through it naturally. So if it comes to me, I'm always going to pick the natural route of fixing things without medications. Not all cases are like that. Some cases you definitely do need medications because they're severe cases. But when it comes to me and how I look at things, I always rather take the route without medications. Take the natural route,
Yeah.
So this is how I think about.
I think that's the
therapy
best way
too.
Yeah, therapy is a tool. You can use it to,
especially if you don't have people that you can talk to.
Yes,
especially if you don't have people that listen to your problems, listen to what you're going through. You feel like you don't have somebody that can sit down and help you situate your thoughts. Then going and shopping for a therapist, which is basically somebody that can listen to you, really. then it's a really good thing to
and
do.
advise you. A therapist can really guide you in your daily life to change a little bit of your habits to become a better person.
Yeah.
They can, especially if you have ADHD, if you have OCD, whatever you have, they can really guide you. They can give you the tools and the tips to be better, right?
Yeah.
A good therapist would never put you on medication right away. They would try with you the best things that they can to make you a better person. And sometimes they see great results in a very short time. And sometimes it just takes longer for other people. And some other people, they require medications, like Thoraya is saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you know, like, you do whatever that makes you feel good, but just don't diagnose other people. And don't diagnose yourself without actually going and getting a professional help.
True.
Because if you do that, imagine if you say all the time to your friends or your family, oh, I have OCD or I have whatever, and you might have nothing.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people don't have anything. You're basically programming yourself
that it's
to
okay.
become that person when you don't have that issue. And just like you wouldn't walk around and be like, oh, I have cancer. Treat it like that. It's an illness. And it one time I saw two people that I was with in class, and one of them kept saying, oh, I have OCD, whatever. There was a girl with us that had OCD and nobody knew. Like, she was fighting it with her own self. And
quiet about it.
Yes, very quiet about it. And that girl had nothing, and she was very loud, saying like, I have OCD, whatever, joking about it, making it like a joke. One day that other girl went crazy. Like, she just like went off on her. She was like, do you even know what people that have OCD go through? Like, we don't have control over our thoughts. Like, it's exhausting every single day going through that, and you're just making fun out of it. Like it's a little joke, and she's like, I see you. You're perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with you.
It's not affecting your life.
Exactly. And she's like, you're not even being considerate of other people that might have these issues, and you're reminding us of it constantly. And I'm just over here trying to like focus on my things and like get things done. So like, just be mindful, because you don't know what other people are going through, or you don't know what battles other people are fighting. That they might have it and you're just making fun out of it. I think that's just very insensitive. And we just need to take mental health a lot more seriously, so we don't make fun of it as much as you don't make fun of people that have cancer. You don't make fun of people that have diabetes or any other, like.
There is a huge case of a girl that lied to people about having cancer. And there's a whole documentary now on Netflix about it. I figured it out because of the documentary on Netflix. I think she lived in Australia, and she did a whole blog that she had cancer, and she was telling people that I don't take treatments. I just treat it with natural things, like the things that she eats, the natural remedies that she does. And people who had actual cancer would listen to her.
Oh, that's horrible.
And stop some of their treatments because they see that she is full of hair, full of life, full of energy, living her life normally. And she was lying to people, okay? Even, I think Apple did a whole advertisement with her. No, actually, not an advertisement. Apple did an app, okay? A built-in app. So you buy the phone and it's already installed in it. So imagine like how much they invested into that app, and they didn't investigate her to find out that she was lying to people the whole time. Like, I think for some years she was lying to people. There's a whole documentary. I don't want to give you facts because there's a documentary about it, and there are a lot of like things online that you can search it, but she lied about it. She released books, blogs, did sponsorships with Apple, and nobody did the extra mile of researching, is this girl lying or not?
Oh my God.
And she actually was lying. And honestly, I also don't understand how people in her circle did not go and tell the world that she is lying. She does not have cancer. Like, if I was her friend, bro, what you mean?
Maybe she was lying to other people.
No, her circle knew. That's the thing. People in her life know that she was lying.
She shut them up with money.
I don't know what she did. Honestly, I didn't investigate too much. I was disgusted from the headlines and the small information that I read. And I was like, this is disgusting that even with technology, even with research, even with the amount of informations and resources that we have, sometimes people take the short route and lie to people. And bigger companies, like imagine if Apple supported that girl, of course you're going to listen to her. If Apple is supporting her and they did a whole app about it, of course, you're going to think it's real. But then they figured out that it's all a lie and she lied to people. And gods know how many people stopped their treatments and because of that died. Literally.
Like, how does she feel knowing that she literally ended people's lives?
I don't know.
Because of this stupid shit.
Honestly, when they did interviews with her, she's fine. She's stalking.
Is she still like active or her
no,
career
not anymore.
Ended?
Her career ended, but she made millions of dollars.
No, because like sometimes people do stupid shit like that and they still have a career. So it's good that her career ended because you don't know. Sometimes people surprise me with the fact that they know somebody is a horrible person and they still support it, like on social media.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they ended her career because that's horrible.
Her career started on social media and she was selling everything that she was advertising, literally everything.
Oh my God, that is just insane.
And she had the audacity to tell people, oh, I went to a doctor. Today was my visit. Was this like, this happened in my visit. And some doctors would be like, if you had cancer, the visit would not go like that, you know? But it was like small voices, and then it led to bigger voices, and then they found out that she's a liar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but literally, guys, don't believe everything that you see out there, because like people are crazy, honestly, and she definitely needs help. Like if you are okay with that, like making a whole story and just robbing people out of their life in this case, she has mental issues. Like she definitely needs to see somebody, you know?
She needs therapy. Yeah. Those kind of people really need therapy.
Yes.
Like on a severe level, like on a medication level. There is no
I don't know on what level, but she definitely needs therapy. Like people like that, it's serious cases that definitely needs therapy. And it's just crazy, yeah.
That's insane.
What's insane is Apple did a whole app for her. What's insane is
not
a huge company, one of the biggest companies in the world, did not investigate her and did a whole app for her, an automatic an app that is built in, automatically downloaded. Insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it sounds unreal. Like it sounds crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
God.
Yeah. So these people definitely need therapy. There are people, we have examples in this world of people that need therapy.
I think somebody needs, and Kanye
definitely sees people. And,
no, but
he
it's not
stops
helping him in any way. Honestly, I think he really needs, like, it's the things that he's been tweeting recently is insane. Have you seen it?
No.
Like he salutes Hitler and
I read about that, like the whole like Hitler thing and the sign and the shirt and everything.
Oh yeah, you told me about that's insane.
I don't know what's going on, or maybe it's for like maybe he finds it as a strategy to build hype so people can talk about him, because he loves fame, he loves the clout. Even when every girl that he dates, he tries to walk with them half naked, you know. He also likes to, like, I think he said it in multiple times, he likes men to desire his women.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know, is that
he said that?
Yeah, like he likes the attention on his women from men. Like he likes men to be attracted to his women. This is why every girl that he dates is half naked with him.
That's oh my God, I'm speechless. I can't. Men like that think that way scare me.
Which look, I find it very healthy for men to want their women to be a woman that everybody wants because she's so good and presents herself in such a good way.
Yeah.
But not in a sexual way.
Yeah, that's
you know what
the
I
part
mean?
that is scary.
Like there's a difference between I have an amazing woman with me. She is almost perfect. Any man wishes that she's with them, but not in a sexual way. Like they can. Every man has the right to think about her sexually, but she's not naked.
She's not what I mean? Presenting herself as a sexual object.
Yes.
Basically.
Thank
you. She has self-respect and she's representing herself as her. You know, a girl that is in love with that man and they are for each other. And same thing to the man. Other girls, you know, every girl would want to be with a man that is like very well put together.
In my opinion.
Yes, that is very normal. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't want to be with a man that I'm like not proud of like showing off to other people and be like, this is my man. And he wouldn't be either to me as well. But like showing your partner as an only
sexual toy
object is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because that says something about you. Like you're lacking something in your life. You haven't worked on yourself enough to just think that women are only that.
True.
That they can only provide that for you.
True. Also, we don't know. It could be all a story for him to get fame, a story for him to get people.
Need it.
I feel like he does need it because the fact that he reached this level, he had to go through all of these things. Like, yes, he's a good singer. Yes, he had really good albums. But then a lot of people are good singers. A lot of people had released good albums. People stopped talking about him. And out of the sudden, he comes up with something that is out of this world because it's abnormal. People start talking about him and then he gets the hype. He likes to be talked about. Like he was so happy.
Maybe the hype, but Kanye has always been Kanye. Like there's no like you don't even need to question who is he. He's always been this great artist. But I feel you. Like the hype, he just likes to be the talk of the people all the fucking time.
Like he was so happy that Bianca was the most searched because she was naked. Okay, what makes you happy about that? Like, of course everybody's gonna talk about it. Naked on a red carpet. Of course everybody's gonna talk about it. Like, it's not rocket science, bro.
And he knows. And he even did that and became happy just to make people angrier because. He knows that they're going to be angry at him. Like you're saying, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does he really need help or is he acting like he needs help?
If he is acting, then he needs the most help.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's playing with people's emotion.
Yeah.
You're doing all of that and bothering people just to get something out of them for your own benefit. That's a whole nother thing. That's like narcissism. But
I think that's also the game. He's only playing the game. He is the player in the game. You like the game is let's be the most searched. Let's be the whole point of the whole
but if that's
show,
your purpose, if that is your purpose, then you're nothing to me. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. But the game of fame and social media and being researched and being number one talked about is the game.
Of course, yeah.
But so for him, he's winning. Like in his head, that's I'm doing the assignment to the max. Like I understand the assignment. Everybody else is just a clown. I am the winner. In his head, this is how he thinks. Yeah. And maybe he does need help, honestly. I've never been to a therapist, so I don't know. Sometimes I do think that I need somebody, but I also have amazing people in my life that listen to me and tell me if I'm doing something wrong, if I need to shift the way that I'm thinking. So that also helps. Like being open about your thoughts to people that you know can advise you is something that is very important.
True.
You know, being real, like being honest a little bit about your thoughts, even if it sounds bad. You just know who you say it to. You can't say it to a stranger. You can't say it to a friend that doesn't care about you. You just have to be honest and open to people that you know deep inside care about you, so you can be 100% honest with yourself and them. And even if you know it's wrong, like you know the way that you're thinking is wrong, you know, and you need somebody to tell you how to fix it or tell you that it's wrong, because sometimes you think things that are wrong, but they're really not wrong. It's just the way that you're thinking about it is not right. So I feel like having people in your life that understand you and care about you is something very important, honestly.
True. Sometimes you also, just to be fair, sometimes you also have those people, but sometimes you don't
feel comfortable, maybe.
Not comfort, but even if you say what you had to say, you know that the other person is not going to understand where you're coming from. Or there are sometimes you are too, like, how do I say it? You might say it in a way that might hurt the other person's feelings. So you would rather say it to somebody that is not attached to the situation emotionally.
True.
And get it out of your system. And I think that's very, very healthy. That's the tool that I'm talking about, therapy, that is very helpful, is if you actually go talk to somebody else about a problem that you have with a person, they will give you a different perspective, which will be very helpful. Then you can go talk to that person with this perspective of you not wanting to attack, but you wanting to solve the problem. And I think that is very important. That's the whole purpose of therapy to me, to be honest. But yeah, I think of therapy as, and I had a friend that told me this, so shout out. I think of therapy as seasons.
Okay.
Like, you don't need to go all the time, which I thought that's how it needs to be for me. But one friend told me that you can do seasonal things, like seasonal checkups.
Yeah.
And then instead of you really going all the time constantly, then you're not really going to have time to reflect on the things that you've already improved on.
True.
You need to be away from the therapist a little bit.
So you
to
can
navigate
on
life.
Yes, true.
On your own. And once you see that you are in a place that it's a dead end, right? You need the bridge of therapy to pass on to the next level. Then you can go back to therapy, and that would be like a little season, and then you keep doing that throughout your entire life. I think therapy is very important, and I think if you have the ability financially, physically, mentally to do it, then I would 100% recommend it for people all the time. Like seasonal, you know, try it like for a couple of weeks, and then go on without it for a couple of months, and then go back for a couple of weeks, and just so on and so forth. It helps you to improve as a person. And I think that's very important.
I like the way that you think about it, like seasonal, you know what I mean?
Not my thought. Shout out.
But it's a true thing, you know
what
I mean?
No.
It's
when
like
he was
sometimes you truly need it, and sometimes you need to step away to reflect on what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you're good, you're good. If you're not, then you just go back or shop around for a better person that you can connect with. It just depends.
Yeah. I don't recommend jumping around, because when you build a bond with a person, I don't know, it might be just me. They really know all about your life. So you're like, I don't want to talk that all over to other people. But it's weird, because some other people, they like to change the person, to see different perspectives.
I think it's healthy to change if you don't see improvements, if you don't feel the connection, if you don't feel like you're being heard or understood. It's healthy to change and treat it as a friend. Like, if you have a friend and that friend is not understanding, is not a good listener, is not really there for you, they're just like a piece of furniture, honestly, then it's okay to end the relationship and start a different one, you know?
True.
So I feel like with therapists is like the same thing. Not every therapist is going to be able to connect with you. Not every human being is going to be able to connect with you, and they're humans. So therapists are not going to be able to connect with you. Like, every therapist that you sit down with is going to be able to connect with you just because they're therapists. Absolutely not. And some people, of course, feel like a little bit of, oh my God, it's too much. I don't need to change my therapist, because then I'm going to have to introduce myself, tell my story all over again. But it's also a healthy thing, you know. You might say it in a different way. You might be in a different path when you change your therapist and you look at life differently.
True. I see your point. I guess that's another thing. Like, yeah, if you get too attached to that one person thinking that they're a friend, which you shouldn't never think that a therapist is your friend.
Because you literally are paying them to listen to you.
Yeah. And not only that, you should always think of their thoughts as logical. Like, you could never, because once you think of them as a friend, there's like an emotional bond as a friendship right there. So it's tricky. I don't know. It is tricky.
What do you think about therapy in the Middle East? I feel like it's a very brand new idea. People do talk about it. People do see therapists, but I don't know. Like, I don't see easy access to it as much as here. Like, I feel like in the United States, we have apps, we have websites, we have phones, we have text, we have Zoom calls. Like, it's very, or maybe because it's advertised so much in my face that I think it's so easily accessible, but I don't see any advertisements about it in the Middle East other than just people who are on social media talking about it, because again, it's being pushed. I don't know, but do you think it's easily accessed?
I don't think it's easily accessed at all, and I don't think they can even walk to a therapist's office freely without somebody judging them, to be honest. That's just the way it is in the Middle East. We think that therapy is only for people who are
crazy
and mentally ill, like literally. And I think that is the stupidest thing ever. Everybody got their own problems that they need to be sharing with a professional to help guide them through it. But I think,
especially in a culture that is closed off, especially in a culture that views a lot of things as a no, as unacceptable, as culturally wrong, things like that. I feel like when you live in a closed off environment, that's when you need therapy the most. Because you're not being able to express yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is the most area that needs it, to be honest. I feel like outside of the US, a lot of areas need therapy, but the Middle East definitely, because there's a lot of ways that the kids specifically gets raised to put things underneath the table. If you're sad, just wash it off, go outside, play, do whatever. That's ever since we were kids, you know.
True.
If you're mad, don't get it out on the people, don't get it out on the family. You're little, you're a kid, you cannot, do this and that, and it just grows with you. As an adult, you become that person that always bottles up their emotions. You can't speak up, you can't say your opinion, you can't, so on and so forth. I think it's very important for people in the Middle East, but they're not accepting of it at all. I have my cousin. She is she works, or she used to work as a kind of a therapy consultant at a school for kids, and she says that every time there's a kid and she tries to help them, she tries to talk to the family about it, they just really make fun of her. They take the kid and they completely get it out of her power. Like, you have no power in this school at all. You cannot teach them what they do. You cannot help them. You can't guide them, because you are going to put ideas into my kid's head to do things against my will. And I'm like, that's not how therapy works. It's literally just guiding them to have better behaviors. But unfortunately, they don't believe in it.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like kids can learn from a stranger better than learning from family, because they're too close to their family. Sometimes they don't take it as serious.
Of course.
But if there is a third party, not every third party, a professional third party that is involved, sometimes the kids feel like they need to listen more. They take things more serious. Especially me as a kid, honestly, I was like that. Like, sometimes I wouldn't listen to my mom, don't listen to my dad or nobody. But then, let's say my aunt comes and talk to me, I would listen to her. You know what I mean? Because she's not as involved it just happens. Like it happened to me. So I feel like it's normal for kids to listen to outsiders a little bit more than people in their family.
Yeah. Also, it's the way that the other person comes and treat them at that situation.
Yeah.
It happens to me a lot. Sometimes my sisters, they get really frustrated with their kids about a specific things that they did wrong.
Yeah.
And when I see that my sisters, the way they take it on, like take the situation, is like very hard on at that moment. But when I talk to my nephew and my niece, they accept it from me a little bit more, or as long as it's not their mom, they will accept it more because we are not as frustrated as their own mom. So you always come in and you try to solve the issue. And same thing, if I had kids and my sister would do the same thing, she will be probably better at it than me, straightforward with my kid. And if that happens, then allow it to. Don't take it on your ego and be like, I don't want my kid, anybody to get involved with my kid. At the end of the day, you want your kid to be at their best
shape
self. True. So like, why are you just getting your ego in the way and thinking that your kid is gonna be crazy or be called crazy just because they're going through therapy?
And honestly, I hate look, I call everybody crazy. Everybody in this earth is crazy. Nobody is normal. Everybody is strange.
Yeah,
everybody is a crazy.
Something.
If you keep thinking that crazy people are crazy, then you're crazy. Because everybody has abnormal things. Everybody is strange to some extent. Everybody is crazy to some extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I love being crazy sometimes and I like being chill sometimes. I can't be just a plateau all the time, you know?
That's boring.
Exactly.
Like you have to have your, like, life without ups and downs is not life. We said this before. Really, life without ups and downs is nothing. It's just straight line, and nothing operates on a straight line.
Yeah.
At all. You just gotta have different parts of your life, different personalities, different, you grow, you learn. And I feel like therapy can help you be that best version of yourself, and throughout the whole process you experience new versions of yourself.
True.
But you just have to be serious about it, and you have to not think that you have healed from going one time to therapy. It takes forever. It takes a lot of time. And even though you might have been to therapy for 50 years, you're still not done. You have a lot of things to improve on yourself. And don't think that you're better than others.
I feel like self-improvement keeps going on till the day you die.
Yeah.
There is no limit. Yeah, there is no end to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't go to therapy, you just have to find your own ways to improve yourself. It doesn't have to be with therapy. With therapy, you can improve yourself if you teach yourself. You know what I mean? If you're ignorant about things, you will never progress, but if you start teaching yourself and learning about how to fix the things that you don't like in yourself, and keep it as a lifelong thing. It's not like, oh, I have to fix it now or never. It's crazy. Like, you're a human being, you're always gonna find things that gonna affect you. You're always gonna go through life not knowing what's gonna happen next. So of course there are things that gonna stress you out some days, and things that are gonna be, normal some days. So the more you learn about yourself, the more you know how to basically be in your head a little bit more. I feel like the easier it gets, If you're always trying to, I don't know, like, be perfect, you'll never be perfect. You know what I mean? That's how I think about it.
Yeah, there is not such a thing as perfect. That's why I'm saying, if you go to therapy, if you work on yourself on your own, don't think that you're any better than anybody else. We're all going through it at the same time, and we're all having to improve on a daily basis. Just take it day by day, and by the end of your life, I hope you have reached the best version that you want to be at.
And I think this is what life is. What makes life beautiful is the ability to improve yourself. Honestly, what's the point of living life knowing that you're perfect? I got nothing to do. I'm perfect. What's the point?
Yeah,
What's the point of really having it all?
No purpose.
Exactly.
To me, that is just you with zero purpose.
Yeah.
You have to get up every day and have purpose in life.
Yep.
And that is you. Who is better to focus on than yourself?
Yeah, the best investment that you can do in this life is invest it on yourself, investment on your own self, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's career wise, anything, family wise. It's beautiful. I don't know. I went through some stages in my life where I was an angry person. Honestly, I would fight with everybody, left and right. Bring me any human being, whether they're peaceful or not. I'll pick a fight and fight with them. And that's because I probably was going through some shit, and I wasn't sitting down with myself and thinking, what is causing this anger? And sometimes you just have to know. Actually, not, you don't have to know, but you have to reach a point where you sit down with yourself and notice what is going on. Why is this thing is consistent? Why is me getting my anger on other people or picking fights is something that is consistent? If it's consistent like that, then there's something that you can work on and improve on. And this is how you start improving on yourself. You just have to recognize the problem. You can't just ignore it and be like, oh, this is who I am. I'm just a mad person. I'm just a crazy person. You have to recognize.
If you call yourself crazy, then go to therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that what you
exactly believe? You just have to recognize the problem and improve yourself working on it. Little by little, you will fix it. It will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
I also know people in my life who get angry at things really quick, and it's like a bomb that, it's like they listen to you and then they're just like, oh, they get angry as shit like that. And these people would reach a point in their life where they recognize that this is a problem. This is an anger problem, and they try to solve it, and it works out, But if you can't fix it yourself, I would definitely recommend therapy and try multiple therapists. Don't just stick with one and be like, okay, this shit ain't working. No, try again and again and again and again.
Yeah, it's just like any other doctor.
True.
If you want to go to the dentist and the first one is not good, you're not going to leave your teeth hanging. Like, you're going to go to a different one and try. True. So therapy is the same thing. Find you a good person that actually is working for your best interest, not just to make money out of you.
And you just have to be patient because things like that do take time.
Yeah.
Brain is one of the hardest things to control because it's just the hardest, it's not as easy.
And we don't know it. We don't know nothing about the brain.
Yeah. We know a small percentage about the brain. This is what makes it a little bit harder for people to diagnose others, to help others. It takes time, and this is why I say it's a lifelong thing. It's not a limited thing. But it's just like anything in this life, you just have to be patient with it. Do you have anything else to add to therapy? Do you know like a story, or you've heard of something that people went through? I have one more thing to add.
You go, and then I'll see. Because
I know somebody that did do some drugs throughout their life. And when they went to therapy, after they quit, they didn't really fully quit. They were on drugs, but they went to therapy. For a little bit of time, they would go to therapy high on drugs,
Oh my God.
And from my understanding, they felt being used because the therapist would know they are on drugs and still go with the sessions, knowing that they are high on drugs.
Okay, but maybe really that they are playing it off very cool. and the other person couldn't tell, unless it shows physically.
It shows because also, I would say he, not she, whatever, he or she, they would go to the bathroom, get high, and come back. And the conversation would be, I'm high as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, as a therapist, you would know when somebody changes their demeanor, when they're high.
Of
you know,
course,
if they come in not high, exactly.
Of course.
They come in not high, and then they take a bathroom break. They come back, and the whole demeanor has changed to them being high. As a therapist, you would at least stop there and be like, I can't help you when you're high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would have to be not high for you to continue these sessions. And the therapist went with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really not fair in these situations.
I don't know anything from the professional side of therapy.
Yeah.
But maybe the therapist had a technique where they know that this is their
Maybe, yeah.
lowest part of themselves, and that they could get this version of them and see what they can help in other ways. I'm not even sure if that's legal, like for you to even proceed the session with somebody who is not really 100% there, but maybe that's their intention. Maybe they are just that type of therapist that only care about money. And let's be honest, therapists make a lot of money from one session.
Yeah.
So maybe they really just scared about the money and they go by every day like a paycheck, you know? I had this many people, this is how much money I'm going to be making, and that's how they think about it only.
True.
And that's very, very valid. That's a lot of people go through those issues. That's why I'm saying be very careful when you go to a therapist, and you're going to know from the first couple of times if they got your best interest or if they just want to make money out of you.
True.
Sometimes if they can tell you something like, you don't have to meet me a lot of the time. You're good. You don't need to meet me a lot of the time.
That's a good
then
sign.
You know, that's a good sign. You know that they're saying that for your best interest. They really care about you. Now, in other cases, they might be really needing to see you a lot of the time. But if they start putting you on medication and you don't need to, if they start adding a lot of crazy stuff on you and you don't really need to do that, then you know it yourself that this person is not doing it for my best interest. And like Thoraya said, you just need to change people until you find the good person that is going to be helping you through your journey.
I've also heard from people that their therapists cry when they're talking about things that is sad to them. And I find it really, really not helping when the other person shows emotions when you're talking about something that is very meaningful to you.
Depends on the person.
I don't know.
I would really appreciate it if I see that the other person is
crying.
Not crying. No. That's the extreme that will stress me out.
Yes.
But feeling the empathy or understanding me from one point, not just like
showing compassion.
Exactly. Not just like being, because there are therapists that would just feel like one big ear. They're just sitting there listening, nothing. They don't give you any reaction.
True.
So at the end of the day, you go in and the other person is silent the entire time, just asking you 2-3 questions, and you're talking constantly.
Yeah.
Some other people would like the other person to engage with them, to talk.
Yeah, just like a normal human.
Yes, but crying, I feel like it's too extreme. But also, I get it. Maybe the therapist said that they had just had enough. Imagine listening to like 6, 5, 7, 10 people every day venting about crazy things. Like, because you get very truthful in therapy, and they probably just weren't in their best mindset that they just couldn't control it.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen often. Honestly, I've never heard of crying, but that's like that's something.
Yeah, that's when they switched on their therapist and never went back again, because it's just like made them uncomfortable, you know, wherein the therapist is crying.
That would also make me feel some way. But I would understand. I'm like, maybe they're just having a bad day. It's fine, whatever. They're human too.
True.
At the end of the day, they're not made out of iron. Therapists are also humans.
True.
To me, I couldn't think of something that people went through, just because I don't like to get in, like, if you want to tell me, you tell me. I don't even talk to people about therapy, like, whatever, you know. If you want to go, you can go. If you don't, you don't. It's up to you. But I knew a family that they used to take their little daughter. Well, she's a teenager. She was. But they used to take her to therapy, and the whole family didn't go. She would be the only one that go to therapy, and I never really understood why. And because she didn't seem that she needed therapy, like that constant thing. It was like an appointment. It needs to be done at that time, that day, every a lot of the times in the week. So I was like, oh, let me just observe. I'm a very observant person. I like to, understand what's going on without asking. It's none of my business. But came a little bit time after I realized that I like her the most out of the entire family.
Okay.
It fell off. I'm no longer friends with any of them, but she was the one that actually would understand where you're coming from. She knew exactly how to have empathy toward people. She knew how to engage with people.
Do you think that's because of the help of therapy?
I think so, 100%.
Yeah.
Because she had a little bit of the characteristic from her mom and her brother and stuff like that. And I could see it in her, but she was still, you could tell that she had a different version of herself that was healed and a much better person, that she would just make you feel comfortable. Like, not to say anything bad, but when I used to hang out with them or stuff, I would feel drained when I'm with that family.
Okay.
Like, straight up drained.
Yeah, there are families like that.
And she would be my only comfort point.
Oh, wow.
Or I don't talk to her anymore either, but like, I wish her the best of luck. She would be my only comfort point. She was, and I wish her the best. She was very smart, very passionate about whatever she's doing, and you could tell that she's working on herself. Like, she is,
I love that.
Yeah. So, like, great job with whatever that therapy did to you, because you turned out amazing out of the entire family, to be honest with you.
That's
and
beautiful.
I wish everybody who needs help admits that they need help, and they go to therapy, and
I hope
work
that
on
they
themselves.
get a positive experience, not a negative experience.
Hopefully.
Because of course you never know what type of experience you're gonna have with therapy, but I hope it's always a positive one, and you don't shut that door, if you really need it.
Of course, yeah. And make it work. There are a lot of, if you struggle financially into making it work because it's very expensive, find a good insurance that is very cheap monthly, and you can still have it get paid by the insurance, and you only pay a copay or something like that.
If we're talking about the US, it's very affordable. There are websites and pages that you guys can look for online, search it. But there are some therapists that take like $40, $50 per session. So it's not that expensive. It's affordable in the US. I don't know about any other country, but here in the US, it's became very popular to a point that now it's being more affordable.
Yeah.
And maybe in the future it's going to be even more affordable. What do you think about people that talk to AI for therapy? Because there are AI therapy. I'm serious. There is AI therapy. If you don't believe me, just search.
I think, listen, I got nothing to do on AI. Really. I recently told Taraya, I recently watched a podcast about a guy that is working with Google, and he is one of the geniuses that started all of this. And he kind of shifted my thoughts about AI a little bit. It can be a beautiful thing. It can be something that can help us to thrive and be a better society.
Yes.
The only thing that I would say about therapy is if it's programmed incorrectly, it can mislead people into things that it might really hurt them in the future.
Yeah.
So it's all with AI. I just have this thought that it can be great, yes, but who is behind the scene, who is feeding it the information, is what scares me. Because if the government decides to put an idea in people's head, then they go program the AI in a specific way. Well, here you go, this is your therapist, talk to it. You tell them their problem, your problem, and then they start telling you stuff that you should be doing that might be benefiting other people, but it might definitely be hurting your life. Or it can be great. We don't know.
I feel like it really just depends on the program that you're using, but AI can definitely help with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even with therapy, because like if you think about it, therapy is just somebody who's listening and giving you feedback and advices on how to go about life. You know, they can't make you do things. They can advise you. They can give you a different route to think about things, you know, different point of view. But AI can do that if it's the right AI, if it's programmed in a correct way where it's there to help you, not destroy you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it can help you,
of course.
And if it can give you a bad advice, then you know, it's up to your mental health, right? At that point, some people are strong and they're not. If the advice is not good, they're not going to take it.
Yeah.
But some people are at a very, very low stage.
Yeah, true.
And they need therapists, a good therapist, to push them up. And if they get misled, then they're not going to be doing really good. So I don't know. I'm for it, but maybe when we test out therapy with physical stuff first, and then we can let it into our emotional part. You know, like that I'm not 100% with right now. I think we still need a lot of time to trust AI, because it's like a person that you need to give your trust to. It just takes time.
True. And of course, not everything that you're going to hear from AI is correct. Not everything that you're going to hear from a person is correct. You might not relate to a lot of things, that whether it's a human being or an AI. So I don't know. I feel like therapy is a very iffy subject. Like I feel like it really is personalized. It depends on the person truly. Like it depends on how you think about things, on how you take things into perspective. Like there are so many stages into therapy that I can't just say this is right, this is wrong. You know what I mean? It just depends. It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy thing. It takes time. Yeah. That's all I have to say about therapy.
Yes.
I thought I had a lot more to tell you guys, but the more I talk about it, the more that I find out that I don't have much to add, you know?
Yeah, the birds outside are putting me to sleep. So
don't bring sleep up.
You have to put me to sleep. She put that. See, it's all mental. I swear it is all mental. I walked in and Thoraya was sleepy, and she got it on me.
I've been sleepy all day. There is no caffeine in my system. Every inch of caffeine is gone. There is no caffeine, and I'm not going to have any caffeine till the end of Ramadan. That's something that I really want to do. Watch me today go to a coffee shop, but after iftar. But like, I'm going to try not to drink coffee because it's going to hurt me. I know it's going to hurt me because like ups and downs of caffeine is really not good.
It's good to cut it off that month because you drink a lot. So it's good. It's like just cleanse your body from it and come back. And meanwhile, I'm going to go get my pistachio.
I know you can't.
Right after
1 a.m. Where's Yasmin?
12:30. I'll be knocking on your door. Qamariya, open up.
So funny. They probably know. That would be so funny if you walk in and somebody just hands it to you. Be like, here you go.
Oh, I would love that. There's That's like a little, like a teenager there, like a teenager guy that every time I walk in, he's like,
the barista is a teenager.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Hopefully,
I always wanted to be a barista, always, but like the fact that I would smell like coffee going back home did not hit.
That is amazing.
Yeah, no.
What do you mean? That's amazing. Smelling like coffee?
No.
Coffee is amazing.
I love coffee,
girl.
But the smell, like, you know, the congested smell of coffee is not something I like. I like the light smell of coffee. It's not like every inch is closed and everything that you smell is coffee. Oh no, it's just too much.
I don't know. I love the smell of coffee. Like just
like sometimes I walk to coffee shops and there is no window open, nothing is open, nothing like allowing the air to circulate. So the only smell that I would smell is like concentrated coffee. Oh, I can't take it. I really can't, even though this is coming from a coffee lover.
That's why I'm confused. Yeah. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even that big of a deal with coffee. Like, I only like my pistachio latte. And I love the smell of coffee. Ooh.
Yeah.
Love it. I love coffee ice cream.
Ooh.
The best.
You know, my favorite ice cream is the soft serve. Soft.
Oh,
It's
not
my
a big fan.
favorite.
But I like
Gelato?
Yeah,
I know you like gelato. She likes it
Yeah.
sticky
Yeah,
and
like
gummy.
the Arabic one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one you just. Oh,
I
it's
love
so good.
soft. Ooh, I can eat 5 pounds of soft ice cream for sure.
The in Iraq we call it mshakkel. The soft one that you
With
put
vanilla and chocolate.
vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and
No,
orange.
I
They
can
all
only
put
do
it
vanilla
together.
and chocolate.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, the Iraq one is the best one. Only I don't eat it from anywhere else. But yeah, okay, we're fasting. Let's stop talking about food.
That's why we're thinking
We
about
still
food and
got
coffee and
a lot
everything.
of way to go. You see the sun behind us? She's shining. She ain't going nowhere today.
For real.
So until next day. Guys.
Until then, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to our yap session about therapy and food.
Yes.
And us being sleepy.
Yes.
We love you so much, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Bye bye.
Mwah, mwah.